everyone, we are back with another Sheglam collection, and this one I was so excited because it's actually another collection that Sheglam has already released before, and it's like an add-on or a 2.0 collection, if you will, and this is the Harry Potter and Sheglam collection. So I did get the full collection here, and I'm going to share with you guys all my thoughts on these products, what I think about them, if I would recommend them or not. So first off, the packaging of this, you guys, they nail it every single time. That is one thing I feel like Sheglam does really well, is the actual packaging of the products, the theming of it, and this is no exception to that. So it looks like a little blue suitcase, like you're going to Hogwarts, and then on the top here, this is actually the little free gift. If you get the full collection, you get this little luggage tag here. Very cute. So let's open it up because you guys, once again, beautiful packaging. They have knocked it out of the park. Alright, so when you open up the packaging, it looks like this. It has a beautiful 3-dimension kind of like storybook cutout look of Hogwarts here, and I love the gold foiling on here. They just did a really beautiful job, and obviously this is a beautiful packaging. So that's what the kind of like artistic part of it looks like. And then when you open up, you have the products here. This is the first layer, and you have 2 products here. We have the Monster Book of Monsters eyeshadow palette, and then we have the Golden Snitch highlighter. So then when you remove that little tray, you have the second layer of products in here. We have the Happy Birthday Harry blush. We have 4 of the Gryffindor glitter liners, and then we also have the Quidditch lipstick set. So we're gonna hop into all of these products. I'm gonna have links to everything and prices and all that good stuff down below. Now, first thing I want to mention, I never quite noticed this before on Sheglam versus Shein's websites, because they do both sell the Sheglam products, and I've never really noticed this before, but I did with this collection. The prices on Sheglam's website tend to be a few dollars more than the prices on their Shein website. So if you're wanting to save a couple bucks, it might be worth it to shop through Shein's website. Just something to consider. So for the full set, if you get it from Sheglam, the price is $69.99, and if you get it from Shein, it is $61.19. So you're getting about an $8 difference off that, which, I mean, at the end of the day, that's about a price of one of the products. So it's almost like getting one product for free. Another thing I want to mention, in my last Harry Potter collection review that I did for the first Sheglam collection, someone got so mad at me because I said I never read the Harry Potter books, I've never watched the movies, but I liked the products and I know enough about the Harry Potter world to like understand the references. But one person just got so mad at me that I wasn't a quote-unquote Harry Potter fan, and they were just so upset that I decided to buy that collection to review it. So just bear with me if I mess something up or mispronounce something. I am not a Harry Potter diehard fan, but I love reviewing Sheglam's collections, and I know enough about Harry Potter to enjoy this and appreciate it. Put your pitchforks down, everybody. You don't gotta get all up in arms. Yes, I know the chess scene, I know. So starting off with the first product we have here, this is the Happy Birthday Harry blush. So the Sheglam price for this one is $7.99, and the Shein price is $6.99. So you get $1 off if you get it from Shein. And of course, it looks like the Happy Birthday Harry birthday cake, and inside here there is a mirror and of course the blush, and it does have the Happy Birthday Harry embossed on here as well. Let's go ahead and get into the application and I'll let you know what I think. So here is the blush. It is overall a pretty light colored blush, not the lightest ever, but I definitely don't think that this would work for as many skin tones as they probably could have made it, but this one is very cute. So this is what it looks like. I think for my skin tone this is going to be a very good match, and it is a matte colored blush, so let's go ahead and apply. So it does have a bit of fallout when you rub your brush into it, so be aware of that, but let's go ahead and apply it to this side. Alright, so that is the first layer applied. It is a little bit of a lighter toned blush, so it is a little bit on the subtler side on me, but let's see if we can build this up to get more of pigmentation to it. I definitely think it's more noticeable now with that second pass. So this is the side without, this is the side with. Alright, so this is how the blush looks on me. Overall, it's not really anything that special. It is a nice color for my skin tone, but like I said, I don't know how well this would work for medium to deep skin tones. I think medium could get away with using this, but it would be a little bit more subtle. But to deep skin tone, I really just don't know how well this is going to show up on your skin tone. As far as the blush goes, I think that it's just a fine blush. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not bad, but there's nothing special about it either. So it's just not anything that I would buy for the blush specifically product-wise. But of course, if you are a diehard Harry Potter fan, I totally see how this could be worth it for you. Okay, so next up we have the Golden Snitch highlighter. This I think is probably one of the coolest products they have done packaging wise in a while, because they really went there with the packaging design. So the Sheglam price of this is $7.99 and the Shein price is $6.99. So once again, $1 difference if you get it from Shein. I really love the packaging of this. This is such a cool like collector type of thing to have. These are made of like a silicone, so they are flexible. They actually like move around like a real golden snitch, which I think is really cool. And then of course when you open up the product as well, it looks like this, and it is a gold highlighter with a slight kind of peach reflex to it. So let's go ahead and apply this. I have seen some people just apply it directly to the skin. I don't know if that's my favorite way to do this, but we'll do it today just so we can see. I know a lot of people did that with those Lunar Glow highlighters that they had, and I'll give into it and we'll do it. So let's go ahead and do a little swipe. Oh my god. So we're definitely gonna need to blend this in. I mean, it actually got the product on there very well, but you definitely would need to blend with a brush. So I'm just going to kind of blend that a bit and see if we can get it to not look like I just swiped it on my face like I did. So it's definitely a little bit more natural once it's kind of blended in. We'll just go ahead and do it the same way for dramatic effect. So that is the color there. It's definitely a little bit of like a gold with like a slight peach to it. So let's go ahead and do a little bit on the nose. And for my forehead, I'm just going to pick some of it up on this brush and just kind of lightly dust it down my T-zone. All right, and then that is how the highlighter looks. Now, I'm actually kind of impressed with this highlighter. Of course, you know, packaging is a big deal and the theming is a big deal, but as far as like the product itself, I actually quite like this. I think it's a nice, like fun novelty kind of packaging, but the product is actually still good. I really like the sheen that it has, and with it having just that little bit of like a peach gold kind of color to it, I find that it doesn't look too icy or too stark on my skin tone. So I'm actually kind of a big fan of this. I like this a lot. So overall for this product, I can definitely see someone who is maybe not even a fan of Harry Potter really liking this product, because I do like the actual product itself. I think that it looks really nice on my skin tone and totally something I can see myself using in the future, but I also really love the packaging. This is something like really, really cool. If you were wanting to get like one thing, I think that this might be a really good one, just because of how iconic the shape of it is and just how like you're never gonna really see anything quite like this again. So this is really cool. I think they did a really good job on this product. So next up we have the eyeshadow palette from this collection, and this is called the Monster Book of Monsters. Now this is one of the references I don't know as like a non-Harry Potter fan, but I think it's really, really cool. So this kind of reminds me a little bit of the Care Bears collection they came out with last year. It has that same kind of like velvety soft kind of cover, which they did with that, with the palette and the blushes. So kind of reminds me of that. And then when you open it up, it looks like this. I'm actually a really big fan of the color palette here. Now it's nothing that like unique or groundbreaking, but it is a really pretty warm browns and reds kind of palette. I really like the color selection that they have here. I really like the mix of textures as well. So as far as like the color palette, I think it's a really pretty one. Even though it's not the most unique in the world, I still think this is a really nice palette. The Sheglam price of this is $14.99 and the Shein price is $12.99. So let's jump into the look real quick and I'll show you how I got this eyeshadow look today. And there is a mix of shimmer and matte. Looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4 true shimmers Then there is one that is kind of like a sequin kind of finish where it's like a matte shadow with glitter in it. And then there's also one up here that, because it's actually just like an overspray, and it's the 9 3/4 platform number on this pan here, and that one is called Hippogriff. All right, I'm gonna start off by applying an eyeshadow primer to my lid. This one is called Limax or Limax, and this one's just kind of like a medium peach orange kind of color. It is a matte color, and we're gonna start that in the crease. Kind of typical Sheglam soft shadow type of formula, but let's go ahead and add another color. And you do get a little bit of fallout with these if you dig your brush into it too much, so it's definitely a little bit of a softer kind of shadow. Next, I'm going to take this color here. This one is called Phoenix. It's a little bit more of like a darker rust kind of brown red. And I'm going to apply this to the outer portion of my crease and blend it into that lighter color that we already applied. Next, I'm going to take this dark matte brown, this one's called Grindalo, and I'm going to take that on a pencil brush. And I'm going to run that on the lower lash line on the outer portion. And then also with a fluffier brush, we're going to keep that mainly on the outer portion of the crease just to deepen that up. Next, I'm going to apply a sticky primer to my lid. I find this helps the shadows stick to my lid better and not transfer as much. So the next color I'm going to use is this gold shimmer here. This one is called Niffler. So I'm actually going to pick this up with my finger. And that is just a really pretty metallic-y gold. And I'm going to apply that right where we applied that sticky primer on the center of the lid. Ooh, this is so pretty. It's really soft and just blends right in. I really like that shadow. That is a really pretty one. It almost has like a slight creaminess to it. It's not a cream shadow, but it's so smooth. It almost has that feeling. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of that same color with a flat shader brush towards the inner half of my lower lash line. All right, and then the last shadow, I just absolutely cannot miss this one. It is a super shimmery kind of silver champagne color. This one is called Demigeise. And I'm going to pick that up on the same shader brush, and we're going to apply this right to the inner corner. This is like a super shimmery kind of topper style shadow. So there's not a lot of base color to it, but it's got a lot of sparkle. All right, and I really love how this eyeshadow look kind of turned out. So as far as the quality of these shadows, I think this is pretty typical Sheglam. The last couple years, I feel like their shadows have been getting a little bit better, but one thing to keep in mind is across the board, most of their shadows have a very soft, kind of like chalk pastel kind of feeling, especially the matte ones. I do find them to be very pigmented, but you can easily overblend them because they are so soft and like pastel-like. And then a lot of these shimmers here, I think more like these two are a little bit more like a topper style, whereas these two have a little bit more of like a base color to it, like a traditional shimmer shadow. So overall, I would say pretty typical Sheglam eyeshadow quality. I did really like this one. I think that the shadows actually performed very well today as far as like how my look turned out. I'm very happy with it, and I think it's really, really pretty. I definitely don't think like packaging wise this is practical for me, especially as someone who does travel a lot with my makeup. This is definitely something I feel like I would have to leave at home and enjoy while I'm at home, not really something I would take with me on the go. But as far as the shadows go, I actually think they are quite pretty. So I would say once again, if you are a Harry Potter fan, I really think that's who would want this product. I can't see many people who are like a total not Harry Potter fan and seeing this product and just being like, yeah, I'll pick that up. Not to say that there aren't people that will do that, but you know, I just don't see it as common. I definitely think this is really like more for a true Harry Potter fan, but I actually do like the quality of the product in here as well. Are they the best shadows in the world? No, but for the price, I think they are really, really good. So moving on to the next products, these are actually products that can be bought as a set or individually. They don't always do that, so I do appreciate when they do. And these are the glitter liners, and like I said, you can get them as a set or individually. So the Sheglam price for the set is $20.99. Or if you get the set at Shein, you can get them for $17.49. So about a $2 to $3 difference there. Or if you get them individually from Sheglam, it is $4.99 each. If you get them from Shein, it is $4.49 each. So not as much of a saving there if you get them individually, but definitely if you get them as a set, you can save a couple bucks. So these are their glitter liners, and they have one one for each of the houses of Hogwarts. So I am wearing the one today, the Hufflepuff color, and these do have a glitter liner kind of brush tip to them. Now I actually use these today as a glitter shadow, so I'm gonna get into the application real quickly and show you guys how I made these work as an eyeshadow for me. I like to do is get a little flat brush kind of like this, and I just literally paint product onto a separate brush. I find it works best that way for me personally because it keeps this cleaner and doesn't get my eyeshadow on it. And then I just treat it like a glitter eyeshadow, so I just pat it into the lid and I try to get a really thin, even coating of the product. I don't want it to clump up anywhere or have like uneven spots, because I find that's when these types of products can like crumble and not look very good. So I always like to do a very thin layer of it, and then if I want to add more, I like to let it dry completely. So you can see just how it added that little bit of gold sparkle to it, which is so pretty. I'm gonna go ahead, do the same thing on this side and let the other side dry. This is a much more usable type of way to make this product work for me, because I wouldn't really wear this as like a glitter liner. Just my own personal preference, nothing wrong with glitter liner. It's just kind of one of those things I used to do way back in the day, and I just like this a lot more. So now I'm gonna do my second coat of this. Once again, I'm just gonna do a little bit of like a patting motion. All right, and that is how the eyeshadow looks with the glitter added to it. I feel like it just gives it that little bit more oomph to it, and I really, really like this formula so far. I really love the gold color. I feel like this one is super, super wearable if you like more of a goldy kind of color. This is something I could see myself throwing on like anytime. So overall with this color, this is the only one I've tried so far, but I do wanna play with these more and try to insert some quick little looks that I did with the other colors, because I really wanted to try these out and share them with you guys. And I think that they worked out pretty well as applied as a glitter eyeshadow. That's definitely my preferred way to wear them. You can do them as a glitter liner. I'm just not a fan of glitter liners that much. I used to do it a lot when I was younger, like back in like 2008. I feel like NYX had like glitter liners like this, and I used to do that all the time, but now I definitely like the glitter eyeshadow more. This is another item that I could totally see like any random person just being like, oh, that's a cool product, I'll pick that up. I don't think you necessarily have to be like a true diehard Harry Potter fan for these, and I think that as far as my experience with this one, it worked really, really well, and I can't wait to see what these are like, but I definitely really liked this so far. All right, and now onto the last product. We have the lip set. Now this is the Quidditch Champion lip set. They did a really good job on like just the individual packaging of this. I feel like it's so cute. It looks like the little Quidditch kind of trunk here, and then when you open it up, it looks like this. So there are the banners for each of the houses, and then the 3 Quidditch balls here. There are 3 different colors, and these are actually a lipstick. I don't know if you can really call this a lipstick, but that is what the product is. So the Sheglam price of this set is $17.99. However, if you get it on Shein, it is $14.99. So you can get a few dollars off if you get it from Shein. All right, so we're gonna start off with the darkest color here. And you guys, I don't know how I feel about this so far. Okay, so the packaging, very cute, very on theme. I loved that, but I almost feel like maybe this should have been like a blush product rather than a lipstick, because this isn't the most ideal shape to apply a lip color. So for the first one, I will apply it just straight from the tube and see what we can do with that. I don't have high hopes for it, but we're gonna see. So the color of this one is called Beater, and I'm gonna do it. Okay, it is a full-on lipstick color, so it's not like a balm or a gloss, like it's full color. That's about as close as I can get on my lips applied from the tube, so I'm absolutely going to have to get a lip brush to finish this up. Okay, so I've got a lip brush. I'm going to just pick the rest of this up with my brush and apply it directly to the lips that way, because honestly there is absolutely no way you're gonna get your entire lips covered nicely with that. All right, so this is the color Beater on my lips. Overall, the texture of this, I really like it. It's a very thin kind of lipstick texture. Like, I really don't feel a whole lot on my lips. It's very thin, but very pigmented, so that's not really something you see too often as far as formula goes. As far as this color, it's definitely deeper than something I would typically wear, but I don't think it necessarily looks like horrible on me. It's just a little bit darker than what I would usually wear, but I think that this would make a lovely color for more medium to deep skin tones. So I do like that they included a little bit of a darker color that I think would work for a more wide range of skin tones. So even though this isn't really my typical color, I still appreciate that they included it in here. All right, so the next one we have, this one is called Keeper. This one is a little bit of a lighter brown compared to the last one. I'm gonna go ahead and just apply this directly with the brush in the first place. I kind of wish they would have supplied a little brush that kind of looked like a little Harry Potter wand, or even like the little brooms that they ride on when they're playing Quidditch. That would be kind of cute. That way, number one, it's more like on theme with like the Quidditch broom, but then it could also be like a double duty kind of product to apply these because you absolutely need a lip brush to apply these. So that's maybe one thing I would have added to this set, just to kind of like make it a little bit more functional, but still keep the original idea. But I'll tell you about my second idea in just a moment. Let's go ahead and apply this color. All right, and here is the color Keeper. Once again, not quite my kind of tone of color, but like I said, it fits the color of the product and the theming of it. This is definitely a little bit more of like a yellowy, orangey kind of based brown. So once again, beautiful for medium to deep skin tones. This is definitely something that would look beautiful on a lot of people. It's just not quite for me. I think it's just a little bit too dark and a little bit too contrasty for me, but still a pretty color, just not my favorite for me personally. So my next idea was if they were going to like add something in this collection, I think it'd be really cool to have like 3 lip liners that coordinate with these colors and then make them in the shape of like a Harry Potter wand. That I think would be so cool, but once again, they didn't ask me my opinion on this. All right, and then the last one is the lightest of all of the colors. This one is called Chaser, and this one looks like this. This one I've had the best hope for being a good color match for me, so let's go ahead and apply it. All right, and then this one is the color Chaser. I definitely think this is the best color match for me as far as like what I feel comfortable wearing. I think that this is a really pretty kind of like slightly peachy brown kind of color, which for me, I feel like this is actually a really good color. So I'm really glad that there's at least one that I feel like is something I would actually wear. But like I said, I like the diversity of the colors that they included. And I definitely think that a variety of skin tones could get some use out of these depending on what color is your favorite and what colors you like to wear. So my last little idea was if we were going to change this product up a little bit, with this being a lipstick product, I know that the theme and the packaging of this is really what's driving the force, but as far as the product itself goes, I don't find it very functional to apply unless you have a separate lip brush to apply this with. Like I said, it'd be nice if they had included that and made it like on theme. Not the end of the world, but one thing that I think would have maybe been better suited for this product is to make it like a cream blush. That way it's something that you could just swipe onto the cheek and then blend out with your fingers or with a brush. That way you still have the colors of these and the packaging still fits the theme. I just feel like the choice of making this a lipstick product might have not been the best choice. However, you can also still use these as a cheek product. So just something to keep in mind if you're like, okay, I don't really think I'll ever use that as a lip product. Possibly a cheek color if these are colors that would work for you. The only thing is some of these are a little bit on the deeper side. So for me personally, I could maybe only get away with using this as a blush color, but maybe I could use these as like a bronzer or contour. Something I might to experiment with in the future, but just something to keep in mind, and just some of my thoughts on the design of this product. And of course, like the idea and the theming of it was so perfect. I just don't know if a lipstick was the right product for this. But overall, like I said, had they thrown in like a little lip brush to make it work with this, I think that would have been like perfect in like the theming of it and the functionality of the product. So as far as what products would I recommend and which ones I wouldn't, honestly you guys, I feel like a lot of these products are actually really good. There's not really any obvious duds to me. I think maybe just in a slight way, the only 2 products that I think could go either way would just be number 1, the blush, just because the product itself is just very, you know, nothing that special. So if you have a lot of blushes and you're not necessarily drawn to like the packaging of it, I could totally see this as being a pass product. And then honestly, maybe even like the lip set, just because functionality wise, I feel like it's not as functional as, you know, a lipstick product typically would be. But once again, I mean, if you're a diehard Harry Potter fan, I would absolutely totally see people wanting to get this item. So it really just depends on like your mindset. Are you getting this as a a Harry Potter mega fan collector, or are you getting this as like a casual fan of Harry Potter and you just want some cool makeup items, or are you getting this as like, I just strictly want this like for the makeup items, I don't care about the theming of it. If that is the case, I mean, I don't really see why too many people would pick up these items if you're not a fan. But I definitely don't think there was like a dud product in this collection, which isn't always the case with some Sheglam collections. Now, there's a couple things I might change or adjust or modify, like if I was the one designing this, and if they said like, hey, what do you think of this collection? What would you change? What would you add? What would you take away? I would make a few modifications here or there, but overall, I mean, I think this was a pretty solid collection. And like I said, all the products for me are things I could see myself using and having fun with. And even though I'm not a diehard Harry Potter fan, I definitely still appreciated the like uniqueness of this collection, the packaging, the product ideas, the theming of it. It was not lost on me. So even though I don't know everything about Harry Potter, I can definitely still really appreciate this collection. Alright guys, so those are all of my thoughts from the Sheglam and Harry Potter 2.0 collection. If you guys missed my first Harry Potter collection review from Sheglam's original collection, I will definitely have that linked below and at the end card. So definitely check that one out if you are curious and you're a Harry Potter fan. Definitely check that one out as well. Alright guys, so that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on social media. Links are below. And until my next video, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.